My good people, hello. It's your philosopher, the young man Sammy Mwangangi, again in the channel, and today I want to bring to you episode 6 of our series, The Art of Interaction. Today's episode will have a very short title, Nobody is Perfect. So guys, let us dig deep into this. My lovable people, I used to be a judge of people. Not a judge in a robe. I mean, I judged everything like I had a PhD in being picky. I would notice the naive ones and mentally write them off. I would roll my eyes at people who seemed slow in understanding how things and systems work. Those who are led by fear, even the fear of the unknown. Weak men and those who are slaves to romantic love. A man who possesses lady characters like gossip, the weak, I would say, not for me, not my type, and the illiterate. I thought if I only surrounded myself with the sharp, calm, and perfect characters, I would become unstoppable. Then life did its best course correction. Turns out, every single person has a weakness. Every single one. Even the perfect people you worship on Instagram and social media. They have bad days, blind spots, messy moments and memories, allergies to accountability, and yes, terrible taste. That realization changed my lens. Instead of hunting for a perfect human, I started seeing people as collections of useful pieces. Strength you can use and weaknesses you can avoid. That small shift, it rewired my life. Here is the basic rule I live by as at now. When I meet someone, I scan for the good parts I can work with. I notice what they are strong at. I catalog the character traits that will help me. Kindness, punctuality, a clean handshake, the honesty and integrity in them, their smart mind, stuff like that. Then I quietly avoid their bad side in day-to-day life. For example, if a client can't negotiate or constantly tries to chop prices in half, I don't do negotiation with them. I keep the friendship, but I adjust the deal flow. I stop accepting their business deals. Save the heartache and keep the upside. You don't have to burn bridges to sidestep bad habits. You just need smarter traffic control. Now, let me drop the real discoveries for you. This is not philosophy-flavored nonsense. Human brains are wired to notice the bad side more than the good side. Psychologists call it the bad is stronger than good effect. Negative events, insults, and failures lodge in the mind harder than compliments. That is why one rude review sticks way longer than 100 compliments. Why one argument can spoil a year of friendship. So, if your default is to point out every tiny flaw, you will drown in negativity while missing the productive stuff people offer. Know the signs. Negative information has greater impact. Don't let it ruin your decisions. Focusing on strengths works. Identifying and using strengths from people's characters improves outcomes, resilience, and well-being. When you see what someone does well and put them in that lane, they shine. Don't try to remake people into your own ideal. Let their strengths do the heavy lifting and you will both win. So, treat people as tools of value, not as projects you must fix. This has huge practical payoffs. There is real social science here. Your network matters, and not just your closest friends. Weak ties. That is the people you barely know, the acquaintances. They are often the ones who open big doors for you, like jobs and unexpected chances. Your casual connections. The guys you exchange comments with. The barista who knows your name. Those moderately weak ties often bring the best opportunities. So, while you want a smaller inner circle, you also want a wide circle of people who like you. Attraction at scale matters. Being liked by many equals more chances and opportunities. Keep that in mind when you decide who to write off. And then there is social capital. The idea that trust and networks create measurable benefit for communities and economies. Communities with strong networks perform better. Better schools, faster growth, and less crime. You are not living in a vacuum. Your ability to get help, to be recommended, and to borrow credibility, that all depends on your reputation and how many people like you. If you prefer to be picky and lonely, you are trading potential wealth and opportunities for a false purity. Those who stitch bridges win more. Now, I want to be very practical because I know you hate fluffy talk. How do you balance this? I won't tolerate bad traits with I need to be liked by many. First, choose your core circle small. 2 to 5 people who are your trusted team. Second, be magnetic to everybody else. That means be pleasant, be extremely clean and well dressed, be reliable and have integrity, be consistent, show small kindness, remember names, don't publicly roast people, and don't make every conversation a negotiation. My good people, likability matters even in real careers. Nice people get hired, forgiven, and recommended. Not always. The top 10 crush it regardless, but the middle 80%, likability tips the scale. So don't be an expert at being right and an amateur at being human. Use people where they shine. If somebody is low with finance but the king of loyalty, hire them for customer care, not numbers. Play chess with strengths. Avoid arguing over people's natural weaknesses. Walk away and keep the peace. Save energy for relationships where strengths align. Build weak ties on purpose. Go to events, greet baristas, and comment kindly online. These shallow connections are the seeds of big chances later. Don't be snooty or look down on others arrogantly. A casual like can one day become a job lead. Now, enjoy this little truth. Being a vessel of attraction does not mean being fake. It means being generous with your attention, not robotic with your standards. You can have standards and still be charming. Standards are about non-negotiables. That is integrity, violence-free behavior, basic respect and generosity. But stop demanding perfection on everything else. Pick the traits that actually matter for your life and accept the rest as human texture. Here is the business example everybody loves. Clients. You probably know the myth of the difficult but profitable client. The 80/20 rule. A small chunk of your clients might bring most of the pain and little profit. If a client consistently tries to halve your price or calls at midnight for nonsense, you don't need to fight them. Omit them from pitch lists. Your time is finite. Spend it where your work is respected. That is not being cruel. That is efficient kindness. You keep your network intact, but you protect your livelihood. Don't be a hero for people who treat your value like a coupon or voucher. I want to pause and give you a social lab test you can do this week. List 5 people you admire lightly, not your closest 5. Reach out with one honest compliment and see what happens. Those small steps strengthen your weak ties. Casual interactions increase well-being, happiness, and chance of good fortune. People like to be remembered because attention is the modern currency, so use it wisely. Let us talk about humility, the one you call humbleness. Humility is underrated, but you know what? Humility combined with competence makes people easier to work with. If you are humble about what you don't know, you get invited into more rooms. If you are arrogantly competent, people will avoid you. So, be good at something. Be confident, but don't be the human billboard screaming your resume. Let people discover you while you serve. Now, a necessary truth that sounds harsh but is fair. Being liked by many doesn't mean being their doormat. Learn to set boundaries. You can be magnetic while drawing lines. You can be friendly and say no when the request is bad for you. Boundaries stop exploitation and preserve your value. This is how leaders keep many followers. They are available, not disposable. Here is some micro strategy you can use in daily life. Operate by strength first prioritization or ranking. Meet someone, ask quick questions, listen for what lights them up, then use what they are good at. You don't need to fix their weaknesses. Avoid debates where the clock stops. If somebody wants to argue politics for 2 hours and you need to save energy, give them the courtesy of listening. Then say, let's table this. Save important battles for close people. You also want to be memorable for the right reasons. People who rise in life often have this secret formula: competence plus warmth. That is it. Master something useful and show you are human. The rest, it is noise. You don't need everyone to like everything about you. You only need them to like enough of you that they will pull for you when opportunity arrives. That is the social capital that builds empires from small neighborhoods. Negative experiences stick longer than positive ones. It is human wiring. So, don't let one argument define a whole relationship. Weak ties are statistically more likely to deliver new jobs or leads than your best friends. Don't ignore the small contacts. Again, focusing on people's strengths improves happiness and productivity. That is what positive psychology shows. So, be the person who finds the gold in others. I know some of you worry, if I accept people's imperfections, won't I end up supporting bad behavior? Good question. Boundaries, my friend. Accept imperfections that are harmless or neutral. Push back on harm, theft, abuse, and trickery. If someone's weakness is just a personality quirk or peculiarity, work around it. If someone's weakness is dangerous, remove them from your orbit. Smart acceptance doesn't mean no consequences. Remember the bigger picture. Humans are social animals. Our survival and culture depend on cooperation, from bees and flowers to markets and startups. When you decide to be useful, kind, and magnetic, you are doing what nature made us for: interdependence. People who isolate themselves die slower socially and economically. Those with networks thrive, get opportunities, and often live healthier, longer lives. That is not poetic. That is practical evolution. You don't need to be surrounded by perfect people to win. You need to be surrounded by people who bring the right things to your table. The right skills, the right warmth, the right timing and happiness. Make a tiny change today. List 3 people you are about to cut off for being too much of X. Ask yourself, what part of them is valuable? Keep that part and avoid the rest. If you do this, if you stop hunting for perfection and start harvesting usefulness, your life will fill with small offers, big openings, and a whole lot fewer headaches. You will be liked by many, loved by some, and respected by the people who matter. You will be a vessel of attraction, not a critic with a clipboard. Nobody is perfect. That is not a problem. That is the rule book. Use it. So guys, I know you have learned something from my philosophy. Thank you for listening up to this far. I love you guys, and don't forget to do the necessary. The best way to support me: subscribing, sharing, and inviting many people to this channel to be part of this marvelous big family. So guys, I love you. Bye.